All right, so you've seen the Dutch pours. All the tube paints in the video were mixed with just water and paint. The primary elements were mixed with a regular gloss gel medium. This was the one from Golden that I have. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how I did that. You've probably just seen the finished results. I have them here. They are truly stunning, and I am so excited to do some more Dutch pours with some different color combinations. It's just, they're stunning. Okay. And so this is what I did, and this took me a while. I had a lot of trial and errors, trying out different other products to use to mix them with for the Dutch pour. That wasn't working, so I wasted a lot of paint, but that's okay. That's what happens when you're experimenting, and I really wanted to get my primary elements into the Dutch pour without having to add tube paints or anything. So yes, I figured out the way that I'm gonna be doing it is as follows. Let's see, so take my regular gel gloss. You can try the heavy or a different one and thin it down. I'm going to be thinning this down with water as well, but this is what I've tried so far that works. So I'm going to show you. So I just get some in there, close this back up, and we are just going to thin this down. Go a little bit of water at a time, otherwise it's hard to break down. Now, I've only tried this with when I'm using like paint and water. I tried to add some Otral, which is the European Floetrol, into my base paint to extend my base paint because I'm going through a lot of paint because I'm using paint and just water. But when I did that, I got some weird lacing in it and I wasn't really into it. So I don't know how that's gonna work. But if you want to experiment and go for it, give it a bash, let us know. But this is what works for me. Paint and water and the tube paints only. And this gel gloss with the primary elements watered down. Not watered down, but thinned out with water so you can blow it with the hairdryer. So I'm just adding water until I get this thinned down. And it's gonna get all kind of like foamy with the air in it. So you can let it sit. I just tap the cup on the table to get the air bubbles to come up. No big deal. And just keep adding water. So what I'm probably gonna do is make a big batch and put it in a squeeze bottle of this mix, this gel gloss watered down to the consistency that I like. And so I'll just have it on hand to mix up my primary elements. And don't forget, if you're buying primary elements, use my code, save yourself some money, 20% off your entire order. The code is EricaHughes120 at colorart.com for US. I have a few products left on my site. I will be restocking soon. You can see all the links in the description below. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Okay, so you can always add a little bit of water even after you've mixed up the primary elements. This has worked for me, so I'm still playing with, just experimenting to see if I can use any other stuff, but I'm actually super happy with this, so I'm probably done experimenting actually. I am going to be experimenting on a way to stretch my base paints for the Dutch pour because I really like using just water and tube paint for the colors that I blow over the base color, or the base white and whatever color I'm using like on the base. So I want to extend that. So I tried the Ultra, it didn't work. Oh, well, it worked, but I just didn't like how the lacing was and the white cells. So next I'm going to probably try some glue. Just figure out a way to extend it because you use a lot of base paint. The colors that you're pouring on top of the base, you know, I have them stored in my little bottles. Like this is just water and paint. So you don't actually use tons of the paint. It's just your base that you're laying down. You use a lot of that. So I'm gonna try and extend that somehow. And I'll let you guys know when I know. So I'm gonna leave it at that for now. Okay, so this is the gel and the water. Let me get another container. This one has like little resin bits on it on the outside, that's fine. So, now this is clear drying. Okay, so note to self. When you mix up your pigments, it's gonna look like they've dulled down a bit. But as you can see from the results, when it dries, they dry true to the color. There's no fading or anything like that. It's just primary elements in their glory. So this is Nebula Star. This is out of the new primary elements set. I think it's called Be Still My Heart. The Glitz set. So I'm just gonna mix this one up. I didn't use this one in these pours, but I'm mixing up a different color so I can play with that later. Let me get another stick. So I have a little bit of my gel mix, water mix there. And I'm going to grab a big old chunk. Okay, so get this closed up. Now we're just gonna wet these down. You want it all to, you know, dissolve in there and all the little grains to be wet. I know some people would just dump it straight into there and mix it. That's okay. This is just how I like doing it. And now right now you can see what the true color of these is going to look like because there's only a small bit of the gel in there. But so that hopefully my lighting, it's pretty dull, but the lighting, but hopefully you can see that. Now you'll notice when I add more, it's going to dull it down. But again, remember, this is clear drying and you know, it's transparent, as you can see here. So when it dries, you're gonna see the how it's supposed to look. So now I'm just gonna add the rest of this, and I should probably have mixed up a little bit more, and I probably will. I think I actually have some mixed off to the side that I'll probably add to this, just to make it go even further, because those pigments are, they go far. And I added a big old scoop, so I'm gonna add a little bit more when I mix more of this up, unless I have some already mixed up. Yeah, I don't. Okay, so now we're gonna mix, and you can see all the air bubbles. When you get rid of them, you can mix ahead of time, or just tap it, but this is gorgeous anyway. So you want to mix, no lazy mixing. Mix them really well. Scrape your stick. Get the sides. You just want to make sure you mix it all the way up. If you have any indents on the bottom of your cup or whatever you're using to hold these in, make sure you get in there. And actually that didn't really dim out that much. I'll say I am so excited to be able to add my Indian spice into the Dutch pour. That Indian spice is just, I love it. Anyway, so I'm actually happy with that consistency for the Dutch pour. I may add a little bit more when I mix up some of that gel gloss water mix just to make this go have more paint to play with. But I'm happy with that consistency for the Dutch pour and my pigments. So that's it. So it's just that. So 2 paints, just water and paint. Now, however, I have to say that you can't just use water and paint with any kind of acrylic paint. The brands that I have used and have been successful when drying is Amsterdam, Pebeo, Golden, Arteza. However, I'm not a huge fan of the Arteza titanium white, so I stay away from that. What else? I hear the Extreme Sheen works. I haven't used it solely by itself. I've added my Extreme Sheen into my Amsterdam paints to mix, make my own little color, and that's dried well. Yeah, I think that's all I have used, but I wouldn't go using a craft paint with just water because you'll completely lose the binder. And if you add too much water with an Amsterdam paint or golden paint, golden goes very far, Amsterdam goes very far. But if you add too much water and make it too thin, you have a potential of it cracking while drying. So I think that's pretty much it. But yes, so that was just the regular gel gloss by Golden mixed with water, and then added my pigment, my primary elements. Now, super excited. I was talking to Leslie the other day about the owner of Color Art, and I was telling her how I wanted to add my primary elements into my Dutch pour without getting fractals. Some people like fractals, some people don't. I personally cannot stand fractals or dentries, whatever they're called. So we were, brainstorming, and she suggested trying out the gel gloss, and that's what I did, and it is fan-frickin-tastic. Hopefully you can see that, but you probably already seen this one out in the sun. I just love it. It's like Dutch pour on steroids. I absolutely love it. I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think, and if you play and experiment, remember, I'm just using the paint and water, so say if you add Floetrol to your paint and this primary elements mix, you might get a different reaction, which may be amazing and you'll love it. I don't know, but my experiment is just the paint and water and the paints and the gloss and water for the primary elements. So hopefully that helps you guys, because I've had a few people asking about primary elements in the Dutch pour, and so I experimented, wasted loads of paint, and finally got a result that I'm happy with, ecstatic over. So anyway, if you're new, please subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.